Welcome to yet another episode of Attention Wrestling Disorder, episode 3. I am RJ Show, the whole show, nothing but the damn show.
And I am the Chuck, the old CL5, which I have not used in the game in a minute, but I'm going to run with it again. Hashtag CL5.
I am the Hot Rod 521. Not the one, not the two, not the three, but the 4-time ELW Fantasy Wrestling Champion.
For now.
Oh, it's gonna be number 5 after this season, but that's
what you think.
For another episode. That's another episode for another time.
No, I'm coming back. I'm claiming that title.
You're the 4-time champion because you've never dealt with someone like me.
Oh, you should bring it. Please bring it.
Nah, Jay don't get shit on me. And Amanda's league, Jay don't get shit on me.
Please bring it.
I'm so hungry. Your lunch and your dinner, both of you are done.
Yeah, okay, Jay.
Okay. All I gotta say.
That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna get my 3rd title because I'm due. And also,
I'm going to get my 1st title, and I'm going to hold on to it for a long damn time. And when I win, Mr. Hot Rod, you're going to denounce John Cena, and Mr. CL5, you're going to polish my damn boot. Boom.
That's what you think.
He
I will piss on those boots, and I will shit in those boots. I'll save my next massive shit for your boots.
But since I might as well plug it since we're talking about it. So for those who are going to be watching, if you're wondering what we're talking about, I have this group. It's called Evolution of Wrestling, where we have our actual own official fantasy wrestling league. So if you watch WWE, if you watch NXT, NXT UK, if you watch AEW, Impact Wrestling, Major League Wrestling, NWA, Ring of Honor, or New Japan, and you think you're good enough to put together a team that win you a championship, Look me up. Hit me up. I'll add you to the league. I'll save you a spot for next season. We'll see where you can put your money where your mouth is.
And also, don't listen to Rod because Rod is the worst fantasy leaguer ever.
Yeah, okay. Even though I won like 4 championships, but okay.
Yeah, Rod.
The most in ELW. Yeah, that's definitely a lie, but okay.
Actually, it's not a lie because you know why? You've had some really shitty leagues.
What?
You've had some very shitty seasons, Rod. My favorite.
And so have you.
Oh, I admit that. My favorite ever, though, was the first league season that I won, where first week out, Rod's pick was Bailey, mine was Alexa Bliss. Bliss took the belt from Bailey.
Don't even get me started with that travesty.
I love the fact where you got a guy who's never really done this before and landed into the beginning of the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
That's impressive.
That is
rare. And now I plan on going all the way. But anyway, we did reference this in the first episode, which you can go to on our YouTube channel, Attention Wrestling Disorder. And we did kind of bring it up in the Brody Lee episode we just did because, hey, that dude was my pick.
You did have Brody Lee.
Because it's a fun league. Like I tell people all the time, if you show up for the drafts, you can put together a team. You're going to do great in these leagues. You will have fun in these leagues. This league is fun.
It's awesome, and it's awesome because you can pick different wrestlers from all different promotions, which is great.
Yes.
So you don't have to be like, oh, well, I only want to show WWE. I'm going to do this. No, you can go full spectrum. It's good, but it's good that we're going this way, guys. This is good.
As Chuck says, don't blow your load on one.
Cardinal sin. That is a cardinal sin. If you do that, you might make the playoffs. There's a chance doing that will get you into the playoffs. But 9 times out of 10, you will not win.
That's what happened.
You blow your load. You
the more diverse your team is, the better chance you have of doing great.
Yeah. So I'm glad you guys are touching on all these different promotions and not blowing loads on one promotion because this episode is going to be just about that. We've been talking about this for a couple of weeks, but now we're going to do it. We're going to talk crossover of wrestlers within promotions in this time.
Coming together the way it should be for 2021. We don't need coming up, but we need to come together. You know how we beat what happened in 2020? We come together. We don't need
Damn right.
we don't need Vince's 1980s, early 2000s philosophy of let's buy everybody up and I'll make my company better that way. No, we got to just the time for wrestling to come together to make each other stronger.
Yes, so I guess I'll start it because I have something to say.
Before you do, I just have to quickly say one thing. The evolution of wrestling, because of getting into that, it really has gotten me more into like really checking out. I've been, since evolution of wrestling, I mean, I've been a wrestling fan since I was 8, but because of evolution of wrestling, I've been making more of, making it more of my business to check out every single promotion that's running on, that has a TV show that's available.
Streaming, right?
Basically, every promotion that's in the fantasy league, basically, is what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't have like WoW. I'm surprised we haven't had WoW on, but I don't think WoW's doing anything right now.
I don't know if WoW has a consistent stream.
I don't think so either. That's because I know that's why Kong hasn't been wrestling either. Because isn't that why she was? Oh no, that was Glow. My fault. She went to Glow. Kong was doing Glow.
Okay. Show. No, but I know Rio is doing I think Stardom in Japan or something. I know Rio is.
Yeah, because she's stuck over there for right now.
Yeah, she's doing the other promotion. Still wrestling, but she'll be.
I don't like Rio.
You're entitled to your opinion, bro.
I don't like Rio.
I love Rio.
I met Rio. She was cool as hell.
Yeah,
I met her. She was cool as hell. She was hanging out with Kenny Omega, who was cool as hell too.
Oh yeah, because that's her trainer.
I think they're a little more than that, if you catch my drift.
Rio, you know what? Britt Baker has every right to turn heel through Rio, because she's right. Rio was the way Rio did kind of win her titles underhandedly.
Oh.
Anyway.
Speaking of Kenny Omega, so how about Kenny Omega with the stuff he was doing with Impact for that short time?
I can't wait for Hard to Kill. I'll tell you right now, that's going to be an epic freaking main event.
That's going to be
the Good Brothers against
Swan and the Guns.
Swan and Motor City Machine Guns, yeah.
I'm actually going to watch that one. Because, I follow so much Impact,
Degenerate.
Yeah.
TNA was never a good promotion, Rod.
That's a lie.
You're wrong and you're right. It depends on when. There were times where it was horrible. There were times where it was good.
No, it's had its few runs. I'll be honest. I stopped actually hating on Impact and TNA. At one point, I really did hate on them. Not that I wanted them to fail, but I couldn't watch it. And I go back, but I periodically will go back because I'll hear something that's going on, and they'll have certain talent that I like. But hey, let me go check it out. And then I watch it, I'm just like, who the fuck is writing this shit? I can't watch this.
Well, we know, I'm pretty sure Tommy Dreamer's been writing a lot of the garbage because he's been very involved in it, and it's been like that.
How about Tommy Dreamer's
awkward goofiness? It's the goofiness.
How about those awkward ponytails he's got?
Oh, my God.
What is up with that shit?
I don't care. I don't know.
But the point that you're trying to make, Chuck, and you wanted to talk about it, bring it up, start it off, talk about Omega, how the crossover.
That's it. I want to see where it goes. I want to see what they do. I think it's cool that that Don Callis is. I'm sure I know that it's going to ultimately end up with Don Callis just going to AEW because his Impact deal is up. But it's nice to see crossovers between Impact and AEW. It's going to be cool to see Omega with the Good Brothers doing an old variation of the Bullet Club against Rich Swann and Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, Motor City Machine. I mean, in the past, not necessarily Sabin and Shelley together, but Anderson and Gallows had some great matches in Japan with the Time Splitters when Shelley was teaming with Kushida. Those are some good fucking matches. So I'm excited about that. I mean, I'm not crazy about Rich Swann, but, whatever.
We saw the Time Splitters, speaking of crossover. Time Splitters came to NXT for one match.
Yeah, they had a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
And they lost to the Grizzled Young Veterans in the first round of last year's Dusty Cup.
Yep.
Good match, though. I love the Grizzled.
It was. Speaking of the Dusty Cup, so Cole and Strong are going to be representing the UE in the Dusty Cup this year.
Cool.
I can't wait to see them go on to the main roster because I think, I think they've been in NXT for way too long already. But
like 3 years now.
The
like
only
3
thing
years.
I would be okay with seeing left for them in the NXT is I would, as much as I'm a Finn Balor guy, he's my favorite wrestler. By the way, these podcasts tonight were brought to you by Starbucks coffee, not Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh my God.
I don't drink either, so you
Same. I don't drink coffee, period. So.
Well, they're missing out.
I'll be all right.
Y'all are missing out.
I'm not missing out. Because of coffee, I have acid reflux. So no.
I have acid reflux too. I just take Nexium.
Oh my God.
And I just drink more coffee. It is what it is.
It messed up my stomach big time. But so I mean, where do you think it really started? Because I mean, you got MLW New Japan, you got New Japan Ring of Honor. So,
which we hope Wrestle Kingdom will take place tonight. Hopefully, that's still up in the air.
It's not tonight, Rod. It's Monday.
Oh, it's Monday. Oh,
it's January 4th. It's only the second, Rod. We're not there yet.
I thought you said it started the 3rd.
It's the 4th. It's at 3 a.m. here. It's
okay. Understood.
It's 3 a.m. It starts at like 3 in the morning because you got to remember that Tokyo and Japan over there is.
Yeah, all right.
Which means I'm not going to be able to watch it till Monday morning.
Correct. Unless you pull an all-nighter and you watch it at 3 a.m.
Yeah, well, some people ask me if I'm doing it, and that's to be determined.
I've done it. I'm not going to do it this year because of work and stuff. But
yeah.
I'm going to make it a point, and I'm going to watch the full card before I go to work Monday.
Is it happening or not?
What happened?
Is it happening or is it not?
As it stands, it is, but there's a chance that they might be shutting it down. I think they're still discussing it.
Amanda has been keeping me updated. As she hears information, she's been keeping me updated.
Yeah, I want to see what happens because like Wrestle Kingdom is my favorite event of the year. Like that and WrestleMania are like 1 and 2 and kind of be interchangeable.
Oh, by the way, speaking of cross promotions that come together, she's one person I would love to have on one of these podcasts one day.
Who?
Amanda?
Yeah.
Oh, can we? Amanda, can we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm bringing my boy too. My buddy. Well, I don't know if he wants to use his name Tenabris or Brandon, but my friend who is like in bands with me, who has his own music stuff going on now. He's also a wrestling fan. Not as diehard as me, but
absolutely.
He's really into it.
You know what'd be really cool? I think what we should do, this is just if you guys want to do this, why don't we, if Amanda does wind up hearing this, why don't we do a post-Wrestle Kingdom one, and we'll have her on that.
I'm okay with that. I'll be all right with that.
That would be a good one to have her for.
You got to give me a couple of days to watch it first, though.
That's fine.
We'll make sure we all watch it before we discuss it, of course. No, of course. I'm not saying it could be next weekend. It could be in 2 weeks from now. It doesn't matter.
You know, I'm loving this upcoming week. It's going to be the first official full week of wrestling of the new year. And a lot of stuff is happening next week.
January 6th, we got the MLW special.
Yep. Plus, you got New Year's Smash. You know, New Year's Eve, New Year's Evil, New Year's Dash.
New Year's Smash. You got New Year's Evil, and you got New Year's Dash.
What's New Year's Dash?
That's the fallout of Wrestle Kingdom. It's the event after Wrestle Kingdom.
Oh, okay.
So 4th, 5th, 6th, the 2 nights of Wrestle Kingdom and New Year's Dash.
Do you think? Do you see Jay White with the title?
He's had it already, but
I hope Ibushi wins. This is his time. Like it's his time. Like
well, I've been hearing rumors actually about speaking.
Has he been the actual heavyweight champion? I know he was the.
He was the heavyweight. He beat
title.
He beat Tanahashi for it.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he beat Tanahashi because Tanahashi beat Omega when Omega left. And then I forget what event it was. White beat Tanahashi for the title, and then Okada.
And then Okada beat White.
Yeah, Okada beat White.
But I think Ibushi is due. I think Ibushi is due though.
Nah, I honestly, all joking aside, non-biased fandom, like. Part of me wants to see Naito keep the belt because I love Naito. He's my favorite guy in Japan. But I want to see Ibushi win for 2 reasons. One, you've teased him twice in this role, in this position. I think Ibushi needs to go over in this. You've pushed him twice for G1. Pull that trigger on him. He's like the best thing they got. Give him that title. Even if it's a short run, give him that belt. He deserves it. He deserves a few defenses with it.
Yes.
I think with Tom, I heard a rumor that, speaking of people jumping promotions, I heard a rumor that Jay White's deal is up and he might be going to NXT. Rumor mill, of course. A lot of guys are going to go to NXT because they see where they're going to eventually get the money.
Isn't that?
Yeah, sometimes it's about the money, like. But going to NXT, Triple H treats a lot of the guys. Why do you think so many people are trying to go back to NXT? Because Triple H knows actually run the company.
Triple H is smart with how to run business. Vince is out of touch. Triple H is dialed on the pulse of wrestling. Triple H going on. Triple H knows what talents are good, what talents aren't good. He knows how to fine-tune those talents and also give them that platform to build up to them in roster.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Why didn't Sami Callihan's character work well in NXT the way he had made it work in Impact? Same question with Deonna Purrazzo. Why didn't her stuff work in NXT?
Sometimes, in my opinion, this is my opinion.
I'll let Chuck go first before I say my thoughts on that.
I think two things. I think one, WWE to a point didn't let them use their characters to their full potential, and two, I think sometimes Triple H is, like everybody else, not perfect and doesn't see what he had in those talents to a point.
Do you think it was Seaman who was more of a problem?
Who?
Canyon Seaman. Do you think he was the problem with them, with their
because what I heard about the reason why Sami Callihan, or as he was known at NXT, Solomon Crow didn't work, was he was a botchman. He botched too much. That's why they didn't like him down there. And he does botch quite often. And Deonna, the reason why she didn't work, from what I heard, was they didn't like her lack of charisma, as so they said.
Well, if you look at what she's doing in Impact, I mean,
they blew it. They blew it.
Her Impact run. I've actually enjoyed her. The little bit of Impact I've seen recently, even though I'm like, that's one thing that'll actually keep me watching it. Is Deonna Purrazzo.
They blew with her.
Person, keep me eyes on the product.
Another person they blew with now, and she's killing it at AEW's Ty Conti.
Yeah, not just Ty Conti. They didn't just blow it with Ty Conti. They blew it with another person who has a T in his name.
Yes, that's true.
Sean Spears.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of guys.
His NXT run was decent. Like, I think he would have been a North American champion if he was still down there when that title came out. He would have won that. But his WWE run was horrible.
He should have been
the main roster was horrible. Yeah. I agree. I legit thought they were going to give it to him.
Well, look at Juice Robinson when he was CJ Parker. They had no idea what they had with him.
Oh my God. That was horrible.
But
look at how awesome he is in Japan. He's killing it. He's
fantastic. Tay Conti, though. Tay
Conti's awesome, too.
Mm-hmm.
But it happens.
Right?
Tay Conti is another, future, she's another future wife. No, but yeah, she's an amazing.
Deonna is one of my future wives.
I mean, look at for example, Eric Young and Rich Swann, perfect examples. You think they would have been world champions in WWE? Hell no.
But I mean, Eric Young did have something going on with Sanity, but that whole thing just got destroyed.
That fizzled once they hit the main roster.
They didn't know what to do with it. It was like the original Retribution. It was great on paper, and then they shat on it within weeks, and it sucks.
It's horrible now. It shouldn't even. They should get rid of it already.
They're trying to get with Retribution.
I think because now that Ali's their leader, got revealed they're gonna thing for a while.
They're shitting on Ricochet with it. It pisses me off that Ricochet
is. They're not maxing it though. Like we're not idiots. We know that was Mia Yim. And yet we have to call her, what's her name?
Reckoning.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, she's Reckoning, Slapjack, Shane Thorne, Mace's Dio Madden, and T-Bar's Dominic Dijakovic.
He's the only one who doesn't look like himself, though. He's the only one who's changed because they shaved his head and put the makeup on his eyes. But, I wonder what wrestler has blue hair like that. Whether you put a mask on her or not.
Right.
And then her first mask, the mask is knocked off like in 2 minutes into the match, her mask falls off.
Yeah, and do you know that, like, if you know, people were using that as clickbait. Oh, that, you know, she got fired over that, and she never, and I don't think they even, you know, made a big stink about it at all. Hey, things happen, botches happen.
Right?
But it didn't hurt her career.
No, the problem is that it was good at first. Now it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, they could have turned her into Mia Yim easily, but they didn't. They just, oh, she's reckoning again. But yet, again, we're not stupid, so stop trying to, you know,
They're trying to work the casual fan. It's all Vincent is here saying it's him trying to work the casual fan. Problem is, the casual fan doesn't give a shit about Reckoning or Mia Yim or whatever her fucking name is. You didn't build her up enough as her. You go through the motions of her in NXT as Mia Yim, and now you just bring her up as a whole new character, and it makes no fucking sense. Same thing with Dominic Dijakovic. In my opinion, the only two guys in Retribution that are actually getting any fucking due diligence as tweaked characters with credibility are the other two, fucking Dio Matt and Shane Thorne. Because one thing that, aside from the TM61, what the fuck did Shane Thorne ever do?
Yeah, that cup of coffee run with that other dude who is, I don't even know if he's still on the rock, that Brandon Vick dude, and they were managed by MVP for a little bit before MVP started the Hurt Business. I don't know. Like, remember when Dawn was teaming with that Brandon Vick dude and MVP was their manager for a little bit before he started the Hurt
Very quickly. It was very quick.
It was a cup of coffee.
Was it on like Raw?
It was on Raw when like the pandemic.
Raw, and then it smoothed over to main event.
I don't remember Brandon Vick.
They were high on him for a minute. He was supposed to get like this big push that never happened.
Speaking of guys who are supposed to get a big push, whatever happened to that Australian guy who beat the crap out of Adam Cole?
Oh, Rich Holland. Oh, he got injured.
Oh, but
freaking Oney Lorcan accidentally injured him, broke his leg.
Oh man, but back to what you were saying, and then you're talking about Dio Madden, the guy who couldn't talk to save his life.
Right, and then
he got F5. Yeah, he got F5 through the table because he was sticking up for the King, and Lesnar F5 him through the table. You never saw him again until Retribution.
Brock did us all a favor by, even though it was all written in.
Don't tell Rod that. Rod loves Brock Lesnar.
Oh, shut the hell up!
That's Rod's favorite wrestler.
Lesnar sucks.
Brock did us all a favor by taking him out, even though we're pretty sure that they just. Was that like an injury, or did they just say, "Hey, we don't like how you're doing on"?
I'm sure behind the scenes they said, "We don't think you're right for this role. We're going to do something else with you." I'm sure that's.
I agree, because I mean, Michael Cole #3 sucks too.
Michael Cole sucks. Period.
Who's Michael Cole #3?
Vic Joseph.
Oh.
No, you know who the worst of the Michael Cole ripoffs is?
Who?
Josh Matthews.
Oh my God! The hate that kid gets is like, I kind of feel bad for him.
Josh Matthews sucks, and it was terrible when he was a heel too in Impact. He was such a bad heel. He was as ridiculous as Michael Cole.
But I do like how him and Madison Rayne always be trolling each other, like the whole world don't know that they're married.
Who?
Him and Madison Rayne on commentary, like the whole world doesn't know that they're married.
Oh, you mean kind of like how when Melissa Santos announces a Brian Cage match, you can't tell and she's not looking at his ass while she's announcing him in the ring?
Oh my God.
They're not married either, right?
You mean during Lucha Underground? Because I don't think, or did she do
They call him Cage! And she got like so passionate. It's like, in her voice, it was like, they call him Cage. I'm really fucking him in real life.
Oh my God. It's degenerate, man.
It's true, though.
So, and you're like making fun of her, and yet you're like, oh, she was the nicest person we met.
She was cool as hell when we met her.
She was.
Hey, her
and Cage both.
Remember that time you almost lost your autograph, Ron, and they held on to it for you?
Yeah, I know. They were awesome.
They were cool as hell.
No, they were awesome for that. I even sent her thank you on Instagram for that.
And I even asked her. I was asking her about Lucha Underground. I'm like, you know what I miss? The following Lucha. She's like, I agree. She missed announcing it that way. She was like, I could tell, like, she really was disappointed that Lucha Underground was done when I mentioned it.
It sucks, you know.
I enjoyed Lucha Underground. I mean,
So
I
did I.
guess
It sucked.
they canceled it, but, like, no,
didn't they lose their TV deal? That's why they canceled?
No, because El Rey changed management, and the suits at El Rey didn't like the product, so they canned it.
Wow.
Hey, sounds like the end of WCW while you're at it.
Oh, God.
And you know that they got rid of the guy who greenlit AEW, but AEW is still doing great on TNT.
Yeah, but AEW is a good product, and Tony Khan's got more money than any of us, and he's younger than all of us.
How old is Tony Khan?
I think he's like 32. I think he's like young.
Really?
Yeah, I think he's younger than. I'll tell you exactly. Hang on.
He's probably younger than me, but.
No, I think we're all. Oh, I forgot. You guys are both ancient. I forgot. I'm the baby of you guys.
Oh my God.
But how old are you gonna be? Tony Khan. Oh no, never mind. He's actually he's older than me. He's younger than you guys. He is 38 years old. He's born 1982.
Yeah. Rod, are you still in your 30s?
Yeah, I'm 39, so I'm just for now.
41 going on to 42. So.
It's all right. I'll be 35.
Yeah, I'll be 40 this year.
I'll be 35.
40, yeah, man. I remember when I turned 40 last year, just like, I'm 40, yeah. Or if not last year, 2 years ago, I guess.
Hey, remember that time on your 35th birthday where we had the wait staff at Buffalo Wild Wings to wish you a happy 55th birthday?
Because you are the ultimate degenerate, that's why.
I am not anything of the sort. We also got to bring you your favorite condiment for your wings.
Yeah, that's a lie.
And then we got to also bring you your favorite condiment for your wings, honey mustard.
Oh my God. You take degenerate to a whole new level, I swear.
Sometimes.
But, okay, so this is like I just lost track of what we were talking about, but.
We're going to work it back into the crossovers of the promotions, which I actually have some thoughts.
All right, go ahead, but where do you go? Do you go with what's going on with Omega? Do you go further
We touched on Omega. We touched on Omega. I know that that's just a couple of one-offs. It's got to be just one-offs. That's why there's not much to say on that now, because I feel like that happened. What?
Filthy Tom Lawler doing Team Filthy and MLW and New Japan.
That's actually a good one. That I like. Yeah, that's actually cool. I forget who his Team Filthy is in MLW, just because I don't follow MLW so consistently. I've seen it. I know a lot of the talent there, but I forget who his faction is.
One guy is like a martial arts guy who always wears a gi. The other guy is, I don't know what he is.
I got to watch it to find out.
Hair and a beard.
In Strong, I like that it's him and, fuck who are the other two guys?
JP, big guy.
JR Kratos.
Kratos and Danny Limelight, because
I know there's another guy though too. I know Danny Limelight.
What's his name? Rex.
Oh yeah, Rex. Who's not there anymore? It was yeah, it is right. It's Austin. It was actually he's there.
That actually reminds me. What happened to? Because now he's being managed by the guy who managed that Injure.
Yeah.
The two big guys. What are they called? Injure.
Yeah.
Where are they?
I don't know. They might be
the two big guys.
Yeah, they might be injured, but yeah, no. What was I gonna say? Anyway, no, he was Rust. He's Tyler Rust now in NXT, but he was Russ Taylor. That's it. Yeah. So, but actually, that's a cool crossover in itself, though, because Team Filthy on New Japan level, because they are all in other promotions. Tom Lawler is Filthy Tom Lawler, and his main company is MLW. Obviously, the Russ Taylor stuff is going to wrap up in New Japan, I'm sure, with time, because he signed to NXT. And he's now Tyler Rust on NXT, managed by that guy. And JR Kratos is tag team champions in NWA with Aaron Stevens now.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. But what I heard, didn't you say, or you or Rod said that NWA is going back to Power?
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shockwave ended. It was just that short series.
It was basically Shockwave was just basically for the show of all the UWN matches that you didn't pay that if you didn't pay for, prime time. What's the name? That's basically what Shockwaves was for.
Well, and the funny thing is, half that shit's free on the Fight app anyway. All that event stuff, half that shit's free on Fight anyway. Like that Championship Wrestling from Hollywood or Arizona, that's all under that UWN, and that's all free on the Fight app.
And what else is free? That Booker T's Fed is on there too.
Yeah, the Reality Wrestling.
Reality Wrestling, that's it. Yeah, I'm thinking something else. Yeah, Reality Wrestling. That's still on there, yeah.
So you think, like, what's cool about Power though? Like, because of Power, we now know who who Ricky Stark is, because for those who didn't follow Ricky Stark, like myself, who didn't know about Ricky Stark before NWA.
Yeah, like he was a former NWA TV champion. I mean, now AEW. Speaking of that, they might be getting another former NWA TV champion. Yep, you beat me to it.
Zicky Dice. He actually saw a meme of him. It was a promo of him teasing his appearance in NXT. He might be signing with NXT. I've heard both AEW and NXT. So
I think he'd be in AEW. I don't know if they'd know what to do with him in NXT.
Who, Zicky Dice? Yeah, probably not.
Because he's outlandish. I don't know if it would work as well in NXT the way they could make it work in AEW.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do like what they're doing between NWA and AEW. I like Thunder Rosa's stuff in AEW.
Oh man, I love how here's what we didn't talk about in the last episode. Britt Baker did her tribute to
Brody Lee
with the whole big rig comment, how this is rigged, and then Thunder Rosa kind of brings back into the angle.
Yeah.
It was it's like, okay, it wasn't, it was a tribute show, but at the same time, they were still keeping the angles alive within the tribute show.
For sure.
So it's kind of cool that you still get, okay, we're doing this, but let's remind you that next week now, you're going to see this going on.
Right.
And, Thunder Rosa invested in AEW with this angle with Britt Baker.
Yeah. I mean, I still feel like reading, I think it's probably once NWA comes back full blown, you're probably going to see less of Thunder Rosa. You'll probably just go back to NWA, but it's cool to see some of the NWA talent on AEW. I do think that Serena Deeb is going to eventually drop the NWA title, though, because she's going to be full blown AEW. She's signed to AEW now.
Speaking of crossovers, I mean, that's cool. That was another thing with them allowing the title to be represented on another company completely.
I like that's a cool concept though.
That's a cool concept. The only one that I want to see that we're not going to be able to see, and I know why we can't see it, but they're starting to tease it in Japan, is I want to see what they do with Moxley with Kenta, because Kenta's been calling Moxley up big time. I think from what I read, because I know Chris Jericho had this discrepancy when he was doing his New Japan appearances, is that I think Moxley's not allowed to defend the IWGP title on American soil because of his contract, so it has to be in Japan, but because of the state of the world, Moxley can't work the U.S. title in Japan. I read that because what I found out was when Jericho was doing his IWGP stuff with Omega and Okada and Naito and Tanahashi, he was still working for WWE before the AEW stuff happened, and he wasn't allowed. He had to agree with Vince because he was going on month-to-month contract deals with Vince still. He actually let them lapse so he could go to New Japan. He told Vince, and he had the conversation with Vince, and Vince basically gave me okay, as long as you're not wrestling for any promotions on U.S. soil, I'm going to let you do the Japan stuff kind of thing. Jericho actually kind of burnt that bridge. From what I read and what I heard, Jericho actually was one who kind of burnt that bridge with Vince more than the other way.
You know what? Do you remember, though? I mean, Jericho said this. Vince gave him his blessing to go with AEW, and then Vince, after Jericho went ahead and signed the deal, Vince said, can you get out of it?
Yeah, it was like
no. Go ahead.
No, well, that's the point. It's like when you do that deal, But again, like on the one side, that still goes to my point that that's more on Jericho than it is on Vince. Vince shouldn't have let Jericho. If Vince really wanted to protect his relationship with Jericho, he should not have allowed Jericho to sign that AEW deal, even though Jericho sees the bigger upside in AEW at this time.
I think AEW is where AEW is at because, a part of it is because of Jericho's influence.
Well, it's completely because of Jericho, because Jericho is their biggest name that they have as an active wrestler. Like, here's the thing about AEW. Like, they want to go after all the ex-WWE guys, but they're not going to get the ex-WWE guys that are the big names because the big name WWE guys are not going to leave to go to AEW. I'm sorry, I don't see Roman Reigns going to AEW. I don't see going to AEW. I don't see, Randy Orton going to AEW. I don't see
Drew McIntyre going to
AEW at this point. I don't see Edge going to AEW. I don't see any of them going to AEW.
Yeah, Bobby Lashley, no. Like,
I don't see any of them.
Well, guys, I have to say, never say never, because, both Bobby Lashley and McIntyre were in Impact for a little bit.
Yeah, but there's a reason for that, though. Like, Lashley left because he was, sticking up for his girlfriend who wound up being laid on his wife and baby mama. And McIntyre, he just never recovered from the whole Tiffany situation.
He also had a lot of personal issues, too, though.
Well, I thought he got fired for other reasons besides...
Yeah, but I'm saying his push basically ended when the whole Tiffany situation went down.
He had a lot
that killed his push.
Problems. Well, McIntyre had a lot of personal problems at that time. If you watch, anything that he talks about it on, he was in a bad, mind space, after that Tiffany thing. He got more reckless. He just wasn't really...
You mean Taryn, what's her name, right?
Taryn Terrell.
Terrell, yeah. Tiffany, Taryn Terrell, yeah.
Taryn Terrell, right? Yeah, I forget her name. I never was into Taryn Terrell. I didn't care for her in Impact. I didn't care for her in WWE. I didn't hate her, but I wasn't gonna be an.
I think she was at her best when she was in the Dollhouse. She was at her best in the Dollhouse.
I wasn't really following. That was when she was a heel, right, Rod?
Yeah.
I didn't really follow. I knew she had that heel
turn. Because it was her, Marty Bell, and Jade, who, as we all know now, is me and you.
I actually met Jade.
Marty Bell was the one in NWA too, right?
Yeah. I actually met Marty Bell at a show by my house. You know that company that does the shows right by my house? In Deer Park?
Oh, right.
Yeah, I met her. She was awesome.
At the Deer Park show.
She's freaking awesome. She was awesome.
Yeah,
you know what's hilarious to see? You know what's hilarious to see? Brian Idol on NWA and Evolve shows.
Yes.
That shit's cool to see. That shit's cool to see.
Earl Cooter.
AKA the Village Pub South sound guy that Jester got into an argument with at a show once.
AKA the bassist
AKA Adam Kaplan.
Jester Adam Kaplan. But yeah, he was also the bassist of Mad Yellow Sun with his brother Doug, who is known as the rock star in indie promotions.
Right.
But Brian Idol is he's doing well for himself, from what I understand.
Good for him.
I would love to see him show. Why? It would be cool if Brian Idol showed up in AEW Dark. Why not? Right?
Maybe with time, with the NWA stuff, you never know. He was already in Evolve. I was actually listening to something with Darby Allin. Originally, when Evolve was wrapping up, WWE actually was getting ready to offer him a contract, and he turned it down because he said I know how WWE operates. I know their machine from his Evolve time. He goes, they would have pigeonholed me to 205 Live. Could you imagine him doing anything that he's doing now just on 205 Live?
No.
It would have sucked.
Unfortunately, it would have been like Rich Swann all over. It would have been like another Rich Swann. If Swann would have stayed in WWE, he'd be pigeonholed to 205 Live.
Well, let me ask you this, though. How come Jeff Hardy is where he's at today? Because Darby Allin, to me, is the modern-day version of Jeff Hardy.
I think it's a different time. I think the way WWE has its product now, that's where they were seeing him. I'm not saying that was what Darby Allin said. Actually, he was doing an interview with DDP actually on the DDP Yoga app because they did some like stuff, and he interviewed him. That's when he was telling DDP that he felt like WWE was only going to put him on 205 Live. That was kind of the conversations they were having. They were really like invested in putting him on 205 Live.
He said something similar with Jericho that like they would tell him in Evolve, oh, you know, you're going to wrestle so and so from, you know, I guess he was just on NXT, and he was just like, what, you know, and Darby Allin just didn't care. Like he didn't, you know, it wasn't like.
Well, he did actually have in Evolve a very good match of Velveteen Dream, which is on the network on one of the cards. It was actually a really good match.
Was he wearing the makeup?
Yeah, full gimmick.
Okay.
Not as like as theatrical as like AEW, but it was an indie, so a lot of that stuff isn't as theatrical. Actually, there's a match I got to watch on YouTube that I've been meaning to put on. It was Orange Cassidy and Joey Ryan. I'm trying to forget who the fuck they were wrestling.
Joey Ryan.
Yeah, no, it was the two of them, and I forget who it was. Shit. I'm gonna see if I can find it on my phone quick. But
Do you think Joey Ryan should get a second chance? Because
he's another one who got accused of allegations, though, and
but he's also saying, you know, that he's also been suing those people because on his side he's saying that they were lying, but you don't know. I don't know who's lying and who's telling the truth.
So far, the only person I really actually officially heard it was confirmed that they did it besides Marty was Jack Gallagher. And that's why he got fired.
And they got shit canned too. Oh, and by the way, the match was Orange Cassidy and Joey Ryan against Big Papa Pump and Brian Cage. It was
Big Papa Pump doing math?
What happened?
Was Big Papa Pump doing a math lesson that day?
Maybe.
That promo was epic. Promo was epic.
It wasn't that promo, but the match, I watched parts of it. It was pretty good. It was basically typical old school Big Papa Pump with his NWO shirt on. And Brian Cage.
Because he's in NWA right now, Big Papa Pump. Last I heard, he's still signed to NWA.
Yeah, he was what Aldis's guy for a little bit.
Yeah, the bodyguard, right? Yeah.
On Aldis's team. He was the mystery guy on Aldis's team. They brought him in an episode of Power.
Can't wait to see what NWA is going to do for 2020. Now they actually have an official arena to do their shows out of now. Now they can bring Power back.
Yeah, I want to see them do Power. I liked Power for the sheer fact that it was such a throwback set. And it reminded me so much like the old WCW from the mid-'80s.
WCW, yeah.
What they were doing. That was the whole point.
And it was amazing. And that was awesome. It was NWA going back to its roots, and it was cool, and it was great.
It was.
And if you remember, they were still doing that. They still had that set in the 90s, like Rick Titan, after his Razor Ramon run, he went back to, pretty sure it was like NWA or whatever it was, with that same set, that same exact style. I mean, the show.
I didn't watch NWA in the 90s like that.
That's not true.
Rick Titan, he passed away. You knew that, right? He died. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't think I watched it back then, but I think years later I had, you saw it on YouTube or whatever.
Sure.
They were talking about, WWE was resuming this, Rick Titan went back. I don't know. Was it considered AWA or NWA when they were doing that with the studio? What were they called? I mean, Gordon Soley, I think, was still there.
Doing play-by-play.
It might have been Georgia Championship Wrestling. I know Georgia Championship Wrestling had that platform. I think a couple of them did. I know Georgia Championship Wrestling did because apparently my parents were first married. They watched that, and I think it was that same set, and that was where Ric Flair was at the time, in Dusty Rhodes, for the obvious reason.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
when Rhodes race, what's Terry? The hell was
Terry Gordy?
No, not Terry Gordy. The other
Terry
one.
Funk?
Yeah, the Funk brothers.
Terry and Horse Funk, a.k.a. Dory Funk Jr., had a great match against Tito Santana and Junkyard Dog at WrestleMania 2.
I actually do remember that. It was a long
Also,
time ago,
WrestleMania 2 was the WrestleMania where I learned that the bleeding was exaggerated.
Oh,
WrestleMania 2, the WrestleMania that had 3 different cities.
Yeah.
No, but here's where where wrestling got exposed for me. So remember the spot in the Hulk Hogan? You guys have seen the WrestleMania, obviously. You guys have seen the Hogan King Kong Bundy match,
right?
You know the spot where he throws Bundy into the cage and he starts bleeding?
Yeah.
They botched the camera angle on the VHS tape I have of it, and you see Bobby Heenan blade him right open. And then Hogan goes to beat him up. If you watch it on the network, they edited the camera angle.
Oh yeah, of course.
But on the old VHS, it's the camera angle. Like you see, like he's got like one of those little like box cutting razors, and he just cuts his head open with it.
Damn.
Like those like box cutting razors. Yeah.
Yes.
He did. Yep. And you see him bleed. Different times.
Yeah. Because Jericho got fined for that. But then again, was when he did that with Batista and Vince got pissed. He didn't gig though. He didn't cut himself. Did he legitimately bleed, or I don't remember.
That I don't know. That I don't remember. I don't know. I know when Orton got busted open by Lesnar, the Beast Brock Lesnar actually cut him open the hard way. That was legit.
Yeah, I heard.
He bled. Like
anybody else would have got in serious trouble for that, but because it's Brock.
Rod, stop being upset with your favorite wrestler. We all know he's your favorite wrestler.
Hate you. You're such a degenerate, I swear.
Why? Because we all know you love
Lesnar. You're in the I Love Lesnar fan club. I can't stand the guy.
Are you kidding? Rod's like the VP of the
right.
Lesnar fan club of the country.
I'm lying to our loyal viewers.
I'm not telling anything that they already know.
No, okay. Stop lying to our loyal viewers.
A fan club.
Because John Cena's the man. We're live.
Rod has a Brock Lesnar Beast Incarnate tattoo. Right?
Yeah, that's definitely a lie.
Is it though?
Are you one of the what did they call our fans, like the hug? Are you one of the what did they call them, like the hugs? The Bailey back then.
Oh, the huggers.
Is that you, Rod, or you?
Oh, I was a hugger.
You ever see that meme where the little kid started crying because Bailey cut down all the Bailey blow-ups? That was actually Rod crying.
Pipe down over there.
You already said this on the first episode too, by the way.
Oh, I don't care. It bears repeating.
Because he's a degenerate, that's why.
It bears repeating.
Because he's a degenerate.
I can only imagine the gasket that Rod blew when Bailey turned on the fans and cut her hair and cut all that stuff.
What do you think, to get back to what we've been talking about, what do you think everything that's going on with Omega as the champion and going to Impact, what do you think's going to happen? Like, I mean, because we've seen guys like Eddie Kingston show up in AEW and now he's a mainstay. Do you think we're going to see matches with Rich Swann on AEW? Or
that's possible. I wouldn't mind that.
The only problem I'm kind of having with this, and it's funny because I'm actually not an Impact guy, but I feel like that's cool, but I feel like it's going to devalue Impact in the long run.
Why?
Because I feel like anybody that's like a big name in Impact is eventually just going to wind up in AEW anyway. And then and we're at a point now where every time like a big name in a company goes to another promotion, it takes a while for those companies to recover because they got to recover from those hits. Look how long it took Ring of Honor to recover from its hits. It still hasn't recovered to me. Like Ring of Honor got freaking killed when AEW started. Like anything of name value in Ring of Honor that was over went to AEW.
But you know what? They got Lethal, who was a TNA guy who became a very big, important part of Ring of Honor. I mean, you got guys like Gresham. I mean, with Mike
Gresham's
Bennett.
Awesome. But again, I'm afraid even like a guy like Gresham is going to eventually go elsewhere.
You think? And what about Brody King?
I'm curious to see what he does. I'm curious to see what they all do. Like, I hope a lot of them stick around for a while.
They would leave, especially now. I mean, because PCO, Ring of Honor gave him like a second chance.
The only problem with PCO is he'll never go back to WWE because, one, he had such problems in WWE in his day, and two, he's also well into his 50s now that, like, he's in his early 50s now. They're not going to sign him to a deal now.
Why does he need to go to WWE?
I'm not saying I'm saying in general. He'll probably he'll probably be one of the ones that actually sticks with Ring of Honor is my point. Because of his age.
And even Dalton Castle, he's a Ring of Honor guy. I don't see him going anywhere. I mean, why not? Like, Ring of Honor is a good promotion.
It's a great promotion. I wish they would, but the problem with Ring of Honor, and I love Ring of Honor, but I feel like Ring of Honor now, especially, it's become a breeding ground for WWE and AEW. Because every time a guy gets to a high enough point, WWE comes knocking on the door and they give them money that they can't refuse. AEW is going to start doing the same thing.
I mean, it's been going on for years. I mean,
I know.
Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins.
Well, of course. It started with CM Punk. It started with CM Punk 15 years ago.
Yeah. Well, CM Punk, when he went to ECW, whatever, and
CM Punk is.
ECW, by the way, you see how I do it with my hand gestures because it wasn't the real ECW.
No, they're totally different. But you know what? Funny story about that. Everybody gets on the WWE for it was actually not the WWE that took the hardcore out of it was the network that did not want all those hardcore matches. It was actually not WWE. It was the network that didn't want all those hardcore matches. It was actually not the company. It was actually not the company. It was the network they were on. It was Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi didn't want that.
Really?
Why did it was Sci-Fi who pressured them to have the zombie come out every week because they wanted that's yeah. So it was the network. It wasn't actually them. It was actually the network. They actually wouldn't have had a problem with ECW being a hardcore brand, but the network didn't. But Sci-Fi Network didn't want that.
And you know what? It was inevitable for Paul Heyman to not be a part of that ECW because even with Heyman there, it didn't feel like the original product.
Paul Heyman quit because he hated it. Paul Heyman hated what they did to it. And that's why Paul Heyman quit wrestling in 2006. He quit for that reason. He hated it. He was so miserable. He was like, I hate what they're doing to my vision. They completely are shitting on my vision. And it's not even WWE that was it. It was the circumstances. And he was just like, and that's what he said, as I heard him say this in interviews, that he was like, I need a break from wrestling. And at that time, he didn't think until his run with Brock Lesnar that he was going to come back. And when he was with Punk, he didn't think he was coming back, but he went back for them.
Yeah.
He actually said in interviews, I went back for those guys that I believe in, that I think are the future of wrestling, that should be sporting events. And that's why he went back.
And now we got a new Heyman guy. The most unlikely Heyman guy, storyline-wise, is the newest Heyman guy, Reigns.
Yeah, but it works.
Yeah, it does.
Rod also loved it when Roman Reigns turned heel finally.
Oh,
it's the Roman Reigns heel turn we wanted for years that Rod bitched and complained about.
Yeah, isn't this technically his second heel run because when the heel...
Yeah, when the Shield first came out.
Yeah, but what's funny is now it's funny because again the fans are kind of being okay with Reigns, but when you do Thunderdome, they're telling you to boo him.
Stupid.
Now they're forcing you to boo him. That's what's going to get them over now. Is that now that we're in this situation, it's like they literally realize that, and they're doing the. I guarantee WWE's working us all. They're making him a heel now, so you want to hate him. And they're telling you to hate him because that'll get him over again, and then they have their agenda anyway. It's crowd manipulation. That's what WWE's doing.
The other day, I can't remember who it was or what show it was, but you could hear the boos, and it was like, why are you even booing? There's no reason to boo. I forget who it was or what promo it was. It didn't make sense that they were booing this person.
It was probably what they were telling them to do, and they were doing. The people who were there were complying.
Yeah, and that's again why we have all these other promotions, and apparently Vince didn't get the memo. But if you're last time I remember, and Vince said this in the past, the fans are the ones who are dictating a lot of the big decisions. So
the fans decide who are over.
So how is what they're doing going to help? It's not.
If the WWE is manipulating it, doesn't help. But organically, when you have live audiences, shit is going to be a lot different sounding. Fans are going to cheer who they want to cheer for, and WWE can't control that. They can't manipulate that. So when Roman Reigns starts getting massive pops as a heel, it'll be because you can't manipulate that with a live audience. Unless you cut out the sound of the audience in post-production,
right,
on the fly live, you can't erase that noise.
Nope.
Unless you get those air mics out that cut those exact mics out that are catching those responses, you can't edit that.
And you know what? They're both
all you can do, or what they could do, and I can see them doing, is putting those things and putting in their little cheers and boos, their little processors from sound libraries. I see them doing that.
But I got to tell you, the heel run for even Uso and Reigns are working because I'm starting to get irritated by both of them.
Yeah.
So they're doing their job because I'm getting annoyed.
I love them. I'm loving this run. I'm loving Jey Uso and Roman Reigns right now.
I mean, Reigns, it's about damn time that he's this like, you know, this guy who thinks everyone owes, you know, him, and he's the head of the table. He's the money maker. Everyone
is.
Him. You know that
people hate on him and boo him before him, but he is the moneymaker. He is the guy. Love him and hate him. He's the guy, and they're finally getting the best version of the guy that they've had since he's been in the Shield. This is his best stuff since the Shield. Rod will disagree with that entire.
No, I'm just happy to see the guy healthy. He's back. He's healthy. You know, good for him. He's the champion now.
With him doing so well with his heel run, we're kind of, I think another guy, if he's not injured, his Shield brother is lost in the shuffle, Mr. Horrible heel Seth Rollins, who sucks as a heel.
Well, no, Seth Rollins actually asked for time off. That's why he lost.
Oh, because of his daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually.
Because he was supposed to come, it was advertised he was supposed to come back Friday, but yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he asked for that time off. I guess, you know. Whatever.
Yeah, but let's face facts here. 2020 was not Seth Rollins' best year in ring. Like, he had a horrible year in ring this year.
He had a good. I actually like him as a heel. I like the character.
No, you like I mean, you like Seth Lee.
Seth what?
Seth Lee, Brody Rollins. You like that?
I was into it.
You know what I'm saying, though. He's basically doing the Dark Order gimmick.
He was, but he was doing it a little differently. He was doing it good. I liked it.
It was forced. It was forced. Like,
to a point.
Dude, you remember like how he even became heel? Like, oh, I wonder who's in the van. I wonder who else could it be? And they're trying to make you, like, you know, and they're trying to do that, like, pull the wool over your eyes. But we all knew it was him. And then when we saw...
But that's WWE being predictable in their writing. But that's just WWE being predictable in their writing. And we all know that WWE is predictable in their writing.
Yeah. But that
was just WWE...
disappointing.
That's just WWE being predictable in their creative process. WWE has this bad habit of they have too many cooks in the kitchen and they write the same predictable bullshit over and over again. They're at that point again where they ran out of ideas, where they recycle ideas. That's what they do.
I just stated banana.
Rod, you falling asleep on us, dude?
Oh no, I had to send a text out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I mean, that's again, you know, he had the potential to have this faction, but they got rid of AOP. They took Austin Theory.
They couldn't stay healthy. AOP couldn't stay healthy.
Huh?
That was the main problem with their main roster run. They could not stay healthy.
They kept getting injured. It was one guy.
That was kind of the same thing you say about the Revival, and they couldn't stay healthy either when they first got up there.
Yeah, one of them got injured, then the other guy got injured.
Yeah, but why did they fire AOP? They could have brought him back to resume the heel run with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, no, but they keep, when somebody keeps getting injured, that's kind of why they let Barrett go, because Barrett couldn't stay healthy. All the pushes they gave him, and he would get injured during them.
I thought Barrett decided to leave. But
they were, well, now he's
no. Actually, what happened with Barrett was his contract ended, and he opted not to renew.
Yeah.
But that stifled. But his injury prone did stifle his pushes. I mean, I agree with Rob that his stuff was stifled because he couldn't stay healthy. But
that's why unfortunately Candice Michelle got let go because she couldn't stay healthy.
Wade Barrett didn't get released. He just opted not to renew.
Yeah, I know.
Certain wrestlers, they don't get released. Their deals are up and they opt not to renew. Ted DiBiase did that. Ted Jr. did that. He opted not to renew.
You know what's funny? Where's he now?
Who?
Stu Bennett's back in NXT.
But he's not wrestling. He's just announcing.
No. Yeah. But he's back with the. But you know something else though? If Power comes back, I have to tell you, Bennett was a big part of Power.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to replace him.
I mean, they had Cornette, and then they replaced Cornette with Bennett. But who are they going to replace? Didn't they technically replace Bennett with another guy because, whoever was doing the play-by-play on UPN or whatever. What is it called? UNW? What is it?
Yeah, because I know, wasn't Vita Scott one of the commentators when it wasn't?
It was the guy who's doing the Joe guy who does it now, and then some other guy.
Because I wonder what happened to her after she stopped doing AEW. I was wondering what happened to her.
Yeah, she was doing Dark for a bit too.
Yeah.
Another crossover.
Yeah, speaking of crossovers, yeah. I feel like this is crossover / like people leaving companies and going to other ones, but it still works. But I'm excited to see. So I'm trying to think who else has crossed over in recent, like that you've seen on multiple brands that we haven't discussed yet.
Wasn't Cobb kind of doing that for a while?
He was. Yeah. He was before he officially signed with Japan. He's now officially with New Japan, and he's part of the Empire faction with Will Ospreay and.
So he's officially done Ring of Honor now.
Yeah, he fully signed with New Japan.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was just he was just there because he was stuck there because of travel. Okay, I didn't realize he wasn't there.
Is the Empire faction new? Because didn't Will Ospreay turn heel recently?
That's when it formed. When he turned heel, he turned on Okada.
So I missed it. I mean, I must have missed the. So who's in it? Him, Cobb, and who else?
That guy, Great O'Khan, the big guy with the long ponytail, and B. Priestley, his girlfriend.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. So B. Priestley is now in New Japan.
She's just a valet though. They don't have like women's like wrestlers, but she's a valet. Yeah.
So she's going to compete probably at Stardom, because
she might go to Stardom. I guess
maybe. Didn't they buy Stardom, or when they going to go buy Stardom? I forgot. I heard something about that.
I forget. It's some working relationship with.
So she left AEW then.
What happened?
She left AEW.
Yeah, she's gone from AEW. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, she's done from AEW. And Jeff Cobb was on the verge of signing with AEW before everything happened with the pandemic. That's why he only made the few appearances. You know what he said, though? I was listening to the Chris Van Vliet interview. He said, oh, well, Jericho's a smart guy. I lost to Moxley. Why would he keep me? He kind of kayfabed it, Why would he keep me around? I didn't. Jeff Cobb is awesome, though.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I love his Ring of Honor run. His Ring of Honor run was amazing.
Actually, I don't really think he's had a bad run anywhere. I think, honestly, his weakest run has been New Japan, but now that's starting to pick up.
I mean, he was a beast in Lucha Underground. He was a beast.
Well, yeah. He's lost a lot of weight since Matanza Cueto, though. Like, he's still big, but he's definitely cut weight since Matanza Cueto.
He said he actually, when he first started wrestling, he was like 184 pounds before he was lifting when he was a young kid. When he was doing amateur too.
Yeah, he was. Well, he wrestled in the Olympics, I think.
Yeah, 2004, right?
Something like that. Yeah, he's probably Jeff Cobb is probably 38ish now. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably his early 20s. Yeah.
But he said he was 184 pounds before he started lifting.
Sure. And then he got heavy. But also he's from Hawaii, so
Yeah.
they eat there.
Uh-huh.
He's one that eats.
His family is mixed. I know I think he said his mom was Filipino. I think he's part Japanese, part Irish. He's a bunch of
yeah, he's an interesting blend, yeah. But yeah, no, but we travel they're like I said, Rod, they're allowed to travel to a point overseas, but they have to follow the quarantine.
Yeah.
Because
that's why Haskins and freaking
Kenta's over in Japan right now. They all live in the States. Kenta's over there right now. Jay White's over there right now. Unless they're shutting down, they're all still over there. Phantasmo's supposed to go over there for Wrestle Kingdom. Trying to think who else.
Because I heard that's why freaking Haskins and Joe Hendry hasn't shown back up on Ring of Honor yet because of travel restrictions.
Probably.
I have a question. Does Jay White live in Japan? Does he?
No, he lives in the States.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, that's why he was on Strong so much, because all the guys that were on Strong all live in the States.
Oh.
Yeah, all the guys. That's part of why Strong started, was because they wanted to showcase their talent on another platform in the States because they couldn't because of travel restrictions at first.
Where does he live? I mean, he's a British dude. Where is he?
Jay White's originally from New Zealand, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. He is New Zealand. You're right.
New Zealand, but I think in Florida. I think Jay White and Kenta both live in Florida.
Kenta lives in Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he moved back to Japan.
No. That's why he's featured on Strong too. I thought that too when he re-debuted. No, Kenta lives in the States, dude.
So they're flying back and forth from Japan?
To a point, yeah, but I'm sure they're also, making arrangements while they're in Japan because, of the quarantine rule. So I'm sure they're not, going full-blown, whatever.
So what are you, what do you think, we were talking about, Wrestle Kingdom may or may not happen. I'm hoping it does.
Yeah, well, we're going to find out in the next, 24 hours or so.
Yeah, I'll probably know tomorrow.
How many matches are they? Is it 2 days?
They're doing shorter cards. I think both cards I think each night are both 6 matches. Because of everything, they've been keeping their cards shorter in general. Right. Usually, Jay, Ring of Honor, New Japan cards, rather, they get long. They're 3 and 4 hours.
I remember.
They're only 2.5 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they've cut back on them. Oh, that's not the side I want. I want the other side. Damn it. I think it's 6 matches. I'll run down the cards quick. I'll tell you what's going on with them.
Okay.
In a perfect world, they're gonna have an opening match at 3 a.m. It's a fatal 4-way. They didn't announce their competitors yet.
By the way, isn't Gallows and Anderson kind of signed with New Japan? Didn't they make a deal with Impact?
I think they have a deal where they can appear for New Japan, but I don't think they have yet because of the travel. So if they were to use them right now, they'd probably use them on Strong, but I don't know what they're going to do with them. They might be saving that, depending on what the deal is.
I just realized something. Didn't Kurt Angle wrestle? Didn't Kurt Angle win the IG?
Yes, he did.
So wasn't he wrestling on American soil or no with that belt?
No, that was in Japan. He was in Japan. I don't think he defended the belt in the States.
Okay.
And I think it was the contractual deals were different back then.
And he beat Lesnar for it too, if I'm not mistaken.
No, did he? He might have. Let me tell you. I'll tell you exactly.
I'm pretty sure he beat Lesnar for that belt. In fact, I remember him cutting promos about it.
I remember him wrestling Yuji. It might have been Yuji Nagata because I remember him wrestling against Yuji Nagata, so it might have actually been Nagata, but I'll find out.
Pretty sure he beat Lesnar for it.
Who?
Kurt Angle.
Find out.
Yeah, he did.
Did he beat Lesnar?
Yeah, and then didn't Nakamura beat Angle for it?
No, I think Nakamura beat Lesnar for it. I'm going to find out. Hang tight. We're going to find out.
I could have swore it was Nakamura beating Angle for it. And then Angle beat Lesnar, and then Nakamura beat Angle for it.
Let's find out. I'm trying to find his.
While he's looking, would WWE benefit right now if they worked with New Japan? Or, I mean...
Oh, that's what I wanted to actually touch on, which I wanted to mention. It's funny because apparently Okada just did an interview where he wants to do a major crossover with all the promotions. He wants to feature everybody. He literally mentioned in this interview, he goes, I want to do a crossover with Ring of Honor, AEW, WWE, New Japan, CMLL, MLW, and I forget what else he said. I'll tell you exactly.
But WWE would not let that happen.
No, they wouldn't.
As long as Vince is in charge, hell no.
Maybe Triple H would.
Yeah, but as long as Vince is in charge, hell no, that's never happening.
So I can find the deal.
But they would benefit from it because
both parties would.
I feel that like WWE, the WWE universe is only, is kind of just in tune to what WWE is doing, and it's different from the regular wrestling fan. That's what I believe. And I think that's bad. Right. What do you think? Rod or Chuck?
No, I wasn't, but unfortunately, you know how Vince is. Vince is still stuck on his mindset that if he buys everybody out, that's how he makes his product better.
By the way, it's
I know I keep repeating it, but it's true.
New Japan, WWE, AEW, CMLL, and AAA. That's what he wanted.
Kind of like what they did back in the 80s. I forgot what they would used to call that when all the companies would get together for that one big show. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about, like, WWE Universe not being in touch with what's going on in other promotions?
You mean the fans?
Well, that depends, because you do have a lot of fans that watch other companies. You just unfortunately got a lot of fanboys who believe that WWE is the end-all be-all.
But, like, for example, like the way they portrayed Brody Lee, that WWE Universe knows him as Luke Harper, but, like, the wrestling fan followed him outside of WWE. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Do you feel that there are fans that are only, like, that are just loyal to one brand?
There are. I mean, I don't understand how you can be right now as excited for all these crossovers. Like, this is not 2001. You don't have to be limited to just one company.
Yeah.
I think there are fans that only like one product. I do think, like, there are wrestling fans that only watch WWE, and that's all they care to watch. I think there are fans that only watch AEW and are like, I don't know WWE, I'm just going to stick to this because I like it. Like,
I love AEW right now, but I'm also really into what's going on in New Japan, what's going on in Impact, what's going on,
Well, what's cool about it is that they all offer such different products that, like, you can do, like, you can, like, fan out about so many different things. That's kind of the beauty of it. Like if you're looking for like entertainment and promos, New Japan ain't the company to watch because they don't really do it. They do, but they do it in the match. Their storytelling is the match. And they'll do, like, their little post-match interviews in the back, and they talk about their stuff. But, like, it's not a promo, really. Like, you want, like, a promo, and you want hype, and you want a story, and you want to be entertained. WWE is a better product. Like, there are days where, like, I'm home, and, like, I'll be like, you know what? I really want to watch just an old Japanese match, and I'll find something on New Japan World, and I'll watch it. And it's awesome. And other nights, I'll be like, you know what? I kind of want to watch an old WWE promo, like an angle, like a good told story, and I'll watch a WWE that night. It depends on my mood. There are nights where I want to watch WWE over everything else. There are nights where I want to watch Japan over everything else. There are nights where
You know what I wish, but obviously it's too soon? I would love to, like, subscribe to an AEW, network type of thing. Like
a streaming service right now?
Yeah, but that's going to be a while. That will be a while.
It's a new product. Yeah, they're not there yet. They don't have enough material.
Impact doesn't even have half their library up yet because they're missing a few years in the Impact Plus. They're missing some years.
Are they?
Yeah, what do you call it? The Aces and Eights stuff isn't even up It's the pay-per-views are, but not the Impact shows.
I have to look because like I thought they had all that up.
They did. They're missing some years.
I gotta look and see because I got a subscription to Impact Plus. So I gotta see.
I did it for a month, but I decided to cancel it until they decide to put the rest of their library up.
Because I got everything. Like I'm like at some point I'm probably gonna get New Japan World. Only reason why I won't get Honor Club because Honor Club's not available on the Fire Stick. Because I watch a lot of my pay-per-views on my Fire Stick. So
do I. Yeah.
Like
I watch,
on the Fight app
I watch
and Bleacher Report.
Same thing I'm using my Zoom for, the laptop.
Same laptop too.
I have my Reaper on my laptop. I can record my stuff. That way, I think for like this type of stuff, it's easier to do it this way where it makes more sense.
Is Honor Club available on like smart TVs? Because I know like
it might be, but for some weird reason it's not available on the Fire Stick, which sucks. Because I would get it if it was.
I wonder if like I wonder if the Honor Club is on the phone and you can actually like
I'll tell you what Fire App is. Fire App's available on Fire Stick, but not on my smart TV, which is weird.
Fight App is it? That's weird because that's how I sync up.
Yeah, like I'll have my Fire Stick in.
Do you have a smart TV, Jay, or is it just like is your TV like technically a smart TV?
Well, the one I have two TVs. I have one that is a Fire Stick and one that's a smart TV. The smart TV doesn't get the Fight app, but the Fire Stick.
No, the trick with that is you got to do it from the phone. You got to sync it from your phone to the app, to the TV.
How?
Basically, when you go.
Because they don't even give you the option to search for it on the smart TV. They don't give you the option to search.
You do it from the phone. I'll show you. So when you're in Fight app, if you go to let me let it load. Where you go to like the side there. For like the options for your account, you go to Connect TV Wizard, and you wait for your TVs to pop up. And that's how you do that. That's how I watch Ring of Honor on my living room TV.
Okay, because the reason I can watch Ring of Honor on my living room TV is because I have the Fire Stick.
Right. If you have the Fire Stick, that makes up for it. But yeah, that's how you would do it on the phone. Like I don't have a Fire Stick, so I do it that way, and it works.
You know that I finally figured that they finally made HBO Max available on the Fire Stick. It was like hard, and they finally made it available, but it took forever.
Right. So like what was I gonna say? Like actually, Fight App has a licensing deal with Xbox and not PlayStation, so I can't sync my phone to my PlayStation 4. But if I had my 360 and my Xbox Live still, I can hook it up on my 360. I was watching Ring of Honor on my 360 at one point.
Yeah, because what I do is I use if my Fire Stick's on my TV, I'll just go to my Fire app on my phone, and it'll give you like options where I want to watch Ring of Honor. I just say click on Fire TV, and boom, it comes right on my TV.
I'm going off camera for a second.
Carry on. It's crazy how much you can do. Like the only reason I watch New Japan on my laptop's got a Fire Stick and. You just watch it on your computer. And
it's what I do because like I get my Impact and Ring of Honor pay-per-views on the Fight app, and Bleacher Report is where I get AEW.
Yeah, Bleacher Report I would do it on my laptop and sync it down. Because when I do it on the phone, it doesn't work right. But when I just use my Fire Stick. Like once Honor Club is available on the Fire Stick, I'll get it, no problem. Yeah, especially now that Ring of Honor's back. I'm a hater. I think the only company I actually pay for pay-per-views on, aside from WWE Network, because it's a part of the subscription, are the AEW ones. I haven't paid for Actually, I did buy the last Ring of Honor. I tell a lie. I did actually wind up paying. Last show I watched on yours, but the other Ring of Honor. And I actually did pay for the one Impact one, where Anderson and Gallows came back and everybody came back.
Slamversary. Yeah.
I'm debating. First and only pay-per-view I ever paid for TNA, and actually watched it in real time.
I'm not going to lie. That Final Battle was actually the first official Ring of Honor pay-per-view I've actually ever paid for. Was Final Battle last year.
Yeah, I paid for everything before that I paid for. I haven't.
I wish the AEW pay-per-views were not so expensive.
I know, they cost a fortune.
Yeah, but luckily they're only every 4 months, so it's like...
It equals out. If you actually dissect how much you pay for WWE Network a year and the AEW pay-per-views a year, it's actually equal.
Yeah.
If you put it in hindsight. let's say they do, 4 AEW pay-per-views a year at $50 a pop. It's $200. You do the network for a year, it's a little bit less than that, but it's still not much less. And it equals out.
What you watching, Rod?
My mouse is like going all crazy. Hold on. My mouse is like acting like insane right now.
Because I'm like hearing all this music. I'm like, what song?
Oh, that ain't coming from me. That music is not coming from me. That's coming from Chuck.
Oh, I was navigating something on my PlayStation quick.
Oh.
It's over. That was just a PlayStation screen. I have it back onto YouTube. From the
I want to get PlayStation just so I could get ready for the new AEW game.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I have Battlegrounds I got for Christmas. I played it once. I'm going to start playing through it more, though.
Yeah, I got Battleground for the Switch. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I have
you
the
could get it
PS4.
for Switch? You could finally get a WWE game for Nintendo again?
Yes. They got Battleground for the Switch.
Oh, good. Then I will get. Then I will invest in Nintendo Switch. I was going to get it.
It's the It's the first non-Pokemon game I've played on the Switch in a long time.
I want to get.
I need to get my Switch games up. I have actually I've been wanting to get Pokemon Sword. You play?
I got it. Yeah, I got Sword, Shield, Let's Go Pikachu, and Let's Go Eevee.
Oh, I gotta get Sword so I can get all of the Gengars. And you're gonna help me do that, Rod.
I can
my Pokedex I got my Pokedex filled on both series of games, so.
That's all right. Rod's so cool. Rod's like the one guy I know that still plays Pokemon Go in his free time.
Hell yeah!
How come that the 2K games were not available on any Nintendo platform, but all the other games were?
Probably licensing, but I know this is a 2K game, but I guess they went a different route with it. This game is actually good. I mean, I've been playing a little bit. It's like WWE All-Stars. It's like more arcade
Basically,
style.
All-Stars is a very underrated game.
What is?
All-Stars is a very underrated game.
Oh, don't you know what to tell me, Roddy? You know
So
what to tell me.
2K21.
There is no 2K21.
Yeah, they didn't make another one. They didn't make a 2K21 this year.
They skipped it for the Battlegrounds. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think once the World War was out, they're going to go back to those 2K games. But the last few haven't been even that great.
Well, what about, this AEW is by Ukes. They've done, classic,
Dude, if you saw the preview, it looks like No Mercy. It's going to play like No Mercy and Revenge did.
Oh, I love Revenge. Revenge, oh my God.
Rod, I will whoop your ass.
No, you wouldn't either. No, you, hell you would.
I would whoop your ass.
Like hell you would.
I would whoop your ass.
Like hell you would.
Chuck is better than Rod at wrestling video games.
Yeah, that's a lie.
As long as they don't do what they did with the TNA game, because the TNA gameplay was horrible.
It was. The main thing I didn't like about the TNA game, though, was the Ultimate X matches. Those were great.
I'd rather not.
Those were awesome.
I'd rather admit that I don't own this.
Yeah,
It wasn't good. I played it twice and hated it. The controls sucked. The
controls was hard, but the Ultimate X matches were awesome. Those were the best things about it, was those Ultimate X matches.
I had a hard time doing the finishers because of the way it set up.
Now, you know what my favorite recent games is? That's a wrestling game. Where is it? Where is my game? This was a gem right here. This was a gem to play. Fire Pro Wrestling, the New Japan one.
I heard about that. What is that?
Were you familiar with the old Fire Pro Wrestling games? They're all based off Japanese stuff. It was lightly based off actual Japanese promotions. This one actually is legitimately based off of New Japan.
Which PlayStation is that for?
PS4.
So who are they? Legit characters, or are they made up?
Oh yeah, no, it's both. It's legit characters and created, and you can also download characters online and sync them up to your PS4, so you can create WWE guys and have them wrestle on your Fire Pro.
What year did it come out?
2018.
Oh, so is Omega in there?
Omega's in it. Naito's in it. Okada's in it. The Bucks.
The
Bucks aren't in it. You have to create the Bucks because they were Ring of Honor contracted. It was strictly New Japan contracted wrestlers. So, you can create the others, but in the Honest game, uninitial, is strictly the New Japan signed guys.
They have like Evil, Sonata.
Yeah, they're all in there. Naito, all Los Ingobernables are in there.
What's his name? Dick
Togo wasn't signed in New Japan at the time.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay.
He only came back when Evil turned to Bullet Club.
Oh, so that, but...
Taka Michinoku's in it.
Oh, sweet.
Zack Sabre Jr.'s in it. Gato's in it. Jato's in it. I'm trying to think who else.
Tama Tonga
and Tongaloa are both in it.
Tongaloa, yeah.
I don't know about Hikuleo, but I know Tama Tonga and Tongaloa are in it.
Okay.
Rocky?
Funaki wasn't in Japan.
What about
I think
Rocky?
there's created versions of Funaki, but not like stocked in the game.
What about Rocky?
Romero? I believe he's in there.
Oh, yeah, because he is even though he's wrestled for Ring of Honor, he's more New Japan.
I think he's technically signed to New Japan. At one point, he was signed to Ring of Honor, but I think in latter years, he's signed with New Japan and just makes appearances.
He books for New Japan, if I'm not mistaken. He books for New Japan, too.
Guido does.
I was just about to say, yeah.
Part of the booking committee, too.
I think he's booking for New Japan Strong right now.
Okay.
Strong, he's probably booking for. In Japan, no, it's Guido. Guido's been booking for years.
He's only doing the LA dojo? Romero only does
Romero's probably doing the stuff on Strong.
Okay. That's the LA dojo, isn't it?
That's the LA dojo, correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing the Strong stuff, I think. Maybe the Strong stuff. I don't think he's doing both. I think it's kind of divided, but it's not really divided. But it's funny because I feel like, speaking of crossovers, like the way New Japan is and New Japan Strong is, they come up very differently.
What do you think of, like, you talk about crossovers, what do you think of, like, the Nexus, a Nexus team appearing on New Japan?
I've been liking that. They're good.
Black.
I mean, Black's still signed to Ring of Honor. Speaking of crossovers, Black's still technically to Ring of Honor, but he appears in Japan. Rosser's actually contracted to Japan.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I think Fred Rosser is going to do well in Japan. I think you're not going to see him really shine until things open up, because they're probably going to save that. But I think Fred Rosser is going to do some cool stuff. I think he'll probably. I'm hoping that eventually PJ Black signs with Japan and they make that a full-time team and they like go after like the Guerrillas of Destiny full-blown and like. Because I do think Guerrillas of Destiny are going to take the tag titles at Wrestle Kingdom.
I thought you said they did. Didn't they do I didn't see the tag league, but
they won the tag league. They won the tag league.
So who has the tag belts right? Who has the titles right now?
Sabre and Tai Chi.
Okay.
The cross checkers. Another guy
I like Sabre in G1. I like what he did in G1.
Sabre puts on quality matches.
He's good, yeah. He was in what do you call it? He was in the first cruiserweight.
He was.
Him and Ibushi.
They didn't land a deal. That's why he went back to Japan.
Yeah. I don't think he wanted to. Right?
I think that was part of it.
Yeah, Ibushi too.
No, Ibushi signed. He actually wound up. He almost signed. He actually was like on the verge because he actually appeared on NXT for a little bit.
Well, that's right. But yeah, I think Kota Ibushi is better in New Japan, to be honest with you.
No, Ibushi's like tailored for New Japan.
I mean, some guys could work at other feds. Some guys are just better in certain places.
What'd you say?
Some guys work better in certain places. Like,
well, yeah.
Was Cody when Cody, was Cody more New Japan or Ring of Honor?
Ring of Honor. So
I thought he signed with New Japan when he was in the Bullet Club.
Well, no. What he did was, check this out. At that time, they were heavily working with New Japan. Ring of Honor and New Japan were heavily partnered in like that 2016 to 2018 period. It was like heavy partnerships. So what had happened was actually a lot of the time that Cody worked with all that, he wasn't actually technically contracted to either. He was working on appearances. He finally signed the 1-year deal before he founded AEW. When like in that time frame that he did All In is when he signed his 1-year deal with Ring of Honor and his working relationship with New Japan. So the way his deal was he signed when he signed his contract, he was technically contracted to both. He was contracted to 65 Ring of Honor appearances that year and 35 New Japan appearances.
So when they did All In,
he signed for an appearance for 100 dates. And 65 of them were Ring of Honor, 35 of them were New Japan.
How did they do All In but without Ring of Honor? Because, I mean, they got guys from different promotions, but weren't they technically contracted with Ring of Honor?
No, I think a lot of the guys that they utilized at the time were working just other indies.
I meant Cody. Weren't Cody in the...
Let me see I'm trying to remember what the exact date for All In was. I think he was technically contracted to Ring of Honor by that.
Yeah, I think didn't Ring of Honor helped him out big time with All In too?
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, you're right. No, so basically what had happened was he basically wanted to do something for himself. I don't think he was even thinking All Elite Wrestling. I think he just wanted to do a one-off event.
Yeah.
Let me see. I want to do something in my own vision. I just want to give it a shot. Yeah. The old college try. And Ring of Honor supported it because at that time.
Yeah.
At that time, Ring of Honor was supportive, so they supported his event. And that's where they got, a lot of those talents who end up joining All Elite Pro Wrestling. Because if you really, All Elite Wrestling, a lot of those guys that were on that card that weren't signed to Ring of Honor were just indie guys.
Well, Tony Khan contacted them after that event, didn't he?
Correct.
Or he was at that event, or...
No, I think it was after. No, Cody and the Bucks 100% booked that event themselves.
Yeah, I know. Tony Khan came later, but I don't remember if Tony Khan was at the event or...
I don't know. I don't remember. I just know that they wanted to do a big event. Originally they wanted to keep it small just to see what they could do, and they sold it out in 10 minutes, not even 5 minutes. The whole thing was sold out.
Well, obviously New Japan was on board because Omega wrestled.
Pentagon.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, it was they had an understanding, they had an agreement, they all spoke about it, and they all kind of gave Cody and the Bucks their blessings because at that time Cody and the Bucks were making Ring of Honor and New Japan very good money.
That's the Ring of Honor.
Cody, it's funny because Cody was like Adam Cole. Cody was very over in Ring of Honor, but was not over for shit in Japan.
Right. Oh, okay.
The Bucks have pretty much, except for in TNA because they were still new at the time. The Young Bucks have pretty much been over in every promotion they've ever been in. I'm sorry, Generation Me was not over.
No, I agree. No one really knew that. Even though them and the Guns were having the best matches on the card every night, but
what happened?
Even though them and the Guns were having the best matches on the card, no one really knew who Jimmy was at the time.
I liked their matches. That's when I first discovered them. I like these guys. They're good in ring. At the time, it was very much my whole, I'm not really sold on them as characters.
You talking about Bucks in Japan or Bucks in TNA?
I'm talking about Bucks in TNA as Generation Me, where I wasn't sold on them as characters yet, but as wrestlers, I liked them.
Yeah, I don't think they even liked what they were doing as Generation Me.
They didn't. They hated it.
The Bucks like it, yeah.
That 2010 the sequence of match they had with the Guns were amazing.
Well, actually, the reason they left too is because apparently TNA management wanted to break up the Bucks. They wanted them to do singles. I think they wanted Nick to turn on Matt or something.
Because that's why they had that little. That's why they had that little what's the name when they were feud. Well, I guess you want to call it feuding, and then Nick, I think Matt won the right to face Kazarian for the X Division title, and Kazarian won. I think they left a little after that.
Did they fight the Hardys just in Ring of Honor, or did they have a stint in TNA?
Who?
No, the Hardys. No, I don't think they fought the Hardys in TNA.
No.
They just did Ring of Honor then.
Yeah.
Or on another show. They fought them on a. It was either on an indie or it was Ring of Honor or. They did something with that.
It was real because I remember within the first 3-4 months of freaking 2017, the Hardys were Impact, Ring of Honor, and World Tag Team Champions within the first 4 months of the year that year.
Yeah. Right. Well, they were wrapping up an Impact. That was the whole broken thing.
Yeah.
And then they did the short tour of Ring of Honor.
They lost the titles to the Bucks that Saturday. Then that Sunday they came back, both ladder match, and then in another ladder match they became the Raw Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
Didn't they also wrestle in Mexico and?
Yeah, during the Expedition of Gold, during their final weeks in Impact when they were winning all those tag titles. Which I was happy because I had them on my fantasy team, so they would get me like 12 points every week. So
that was the league you won. That was like the second league you won.
Yeah, because the Hardys were freaking killing it for me.
And now Jeff Hardy is just a nostalgia act in WWE because they're trying to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, plus he is getting up there.
What happened?
I mean, I was amazed they let him become IC champion after everything that happened with him with his latest out of the ring shenanigans.
Yeah.
He still draws. He's still a big name.
No, he definitely is.
WWE will make money despite themselves, like CM Punk said in his pipe bomb. They'll make money despite themselves. So even the guy's like fucked up in this stupid shit, if he can draw, if they can do business with him despite all that bullshit, they'll do money with him.
Perfect example is Randy Orton. Perfect example.
And they made great money with him.
Yes, despite that. I mean, another great example is the Usos. Another great example. As an alternate, they fucked up.
Randy Orton is the greatest thing to ever happen to WWE in the last 20 years. Better than John Cena.
Yeah, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Randy Orton is better than John Cena.
No, he ain't. No, he ain't.
Yes, he is.
No, he ain't.
Yeah,
yes, he is.
No, he isn't.
Drew McIntyre is better than John Cena.
Yeah, okay. Let's not go nuts now.
Is John Cena wrestling now? No.
Okay, so what? So you're going to say Drew McIntyre's better than The Rock because The Rock ain't wrestling now?
That's because we all know John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
Because John Cena's the same sellout that The Rock is.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Rod, John Cena is the same sellout The Rock is.
No, he isn't.
Hollywood just the same way The Rock did?
Yeah, okay, difference is Cena didn't do it in his prime of his career the way The Rock did. That's the difference.
Cena's kind of a hypocrite because he said he was never going to do that, and he's doing
it. Okay, Cena's like in his 40s now, so what? It's not like Cena's in the prime. Yes, it is. It's not. Yeah, okay, it's not like Cena's in the prime of his career the way The Rock did it.
Don't break your word to your fans like that.
The Rock was in the prime of his career when he did it. Cena is. That's a big difference.
You know what else? John Cena sucks.
Wow.
Hater. You're just a hater.
When was the last time John Cena did anything good?
Oh, my God. The man's a 60-time world champion. He doesn't need to do anything else.
He's a paper champion.
Yeah, right.
Have you guys heard of that one quality John Cena world title run?
Oh, my God. Yeah, okay. I can name at least 3.
I don't remember him ever having the belt.
Yeah, okay.
John Cena, Chuck?
What happened?
AJ Styles, because he beat up
John Cena. Beat up John Cena.
And who did Cena win 16 from? Oh, yeah, that's right, AJ.
And how long did he hold that belt for?
And your point's what?
That he lost to the current best wrestler, along with Randy Orton in WWE, who he's currently feuding with, Bray Wyatt.
Oh, you want to talk about short title reigns? There you go. Right. You want to talk about short title reigns? That cup of coffee he had with the Universal title? He had that belt for what, 6 days?
He's been the Universal title. He's had it twice, by the way.
Yeah, I know. And the second time he had it was for a cup of coffee.
Okay. Yeah, it was so he could drop it to Roman Reigns. Yeah,
the greatest wrestler going right now.
I think Drew McIntyre is better, but I agree with you. But I still think McIntyre is better. Drew Galloway is much better. That's my opinion.
No, you know what Rod's favorite John Cena loss was? When Sheamus put him through a table and won the belt.
You mean when Cena slipped off the freaking ropes and fell through the table and the referee stupidly counted that?
Hey, he fell through the table. He broke a table.
Yeah, okay. He slipped off the ropes. Sheamus did not push him. Referee was stupid for that call.
Cena job to Taker.
Who has a job to Taker?
Oh, John Cena. Taker made Cena look like a little bitch in that match. And that was year after he was supposed to be done after Reigns whooped his ass.
Why
did who did freaking Taker? Who did drop the Taker?
Brock Lesnar, your favorite.
Yeah, okay.
And your other Paul Heyman guy, Roman Reigns.
Why did they allow Cena to beat Brock Lesnar when Lesnar returned? I thought that was horrible.
That was great because Lesnar should have came back in the first place. If I gave you freaking everything on a silver platter, and then you tried to sue me after you signed a 10-year contract with me, you never would have stepped foot in my promotion ever, damn again.
Rod is
everybody talks about the Chris Benoit rule. Before it would have been named the Chris Benoit rule, it would have been named the Brock Lesnar rule.
The Brock Lesnar is the greatest.
Yeah, okay. He sucks. He sucks.
I don't like Lesnar either.
But he's better than John Cena.
No, he ain't.
That's true.
No, he ain't. At least Cena knows what loyalty is. Something Lesnar would if it was a snake that bit him in the ass.
But Drew McIntyre taking the belt from him was the best thing to happen.
That was great.
I agree, yes. One of my top 5 favorite moments of 2020.
You know, my favorite top 5 moment of 2020 was the John Cena heel turn against Bray Wyatt.
Oh, my God, that was stupid. That match was stupid.
What, you got a problem with John Cena joining the NWO?
Yeah, okay. Right. That match was stupid. That match was legit the dumbest match on the card.
You know that Lesnar, in a way, helped McIntyre get over because he told, if you listen, when
it's about time Lesnar actually freaking helped somebody get over. The last person Lesnar helped get over was freaking Eddie Guerrero.
Last person before McIntyre, you mean?
Yeah, the last person before Drew McIntyre this year that Brock Lesnar actually helped get over was Eddie Guerrero.
Goldberg.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
He got Goldberg over.
Yeah, okay. Because because Goldberg wasn't over before that. Okay.
He did help get Seth Rollins over.
Rollins was the Grand Slam champion. That's not getting him over. Rollins was over before that match.
Rod gets over this.
What?
Don't you
Rollins perfect example. Look at Ricochet. Ricochet still has to recover from what happened in Saudi Arabia because of Lesnar.
True. I mean, Balor kind of got a bad deal out of it too.
Kofi and Ricochet both. Like, yeah, it's pathetic.
I would love to see another Kofi reign with the title.
So would I.
I would too. Without the New Day, because new. They stale.
Stop hating.
They stale.
Stop hating.
They stale.
This is not true.
Why do you think Biggie by himself right now is probably a good thing because
he's the IC champion.
See, what annoys me is everybody's like, oh, like Biggie can't have a singles run without Kofi had a singles run. He was with the New Day, so I don't understand why they act like Biggie couldn't.
Because Biggie's better than Kofi and Xavier.
Huh?
He's the real breakout star of the New Day.
Don't get me wrong, I love Big E, but to say he's better than Kofi, yeah, no.
I do think that Kofi should have had different music. I don't know. I think Kofi should win the title outside New Day.
I think you should go back to the SOS theme.
That was actually pretty but yeah, obviously he probably won't though.
Do you think Woods would do better on his own right now? I don't know.
Xavier Woods would be pigeonholed into the mid-card forever. They would never do anything with Xavier Woods. He's the weak link of the New Day. He's the best promo of the three, but he's the least talented of the three. Or he's the least WWE tailored of the three.
Yeah, he's the one who got to do the discus riot.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That was good. But you know what else?
Kofi did a better one. What?
You know who I miss? The Vaudevillains.
Gosh is in Contra right now.
Yeah, it's
I have no idea. I have no idea where Aiden English is at right now.
I miss Aiden English. Aiden English is awesome. Rusev Day.
What is he doing? I know he has like some whiskey thing going on, or.
I mean, well, right now he's just basically being Mr. Shaw Guerrero right now.
Hey.
She was doing the Women Cup. What do they call it? The Women's Tag Cup thing?
The Mae Young Classic.
No. She was hosting the AEW thing with the women's tag cup.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes.
But why didn't they have belts out of that? You know, that I don't understand. Could have women tag. They could have.
Don't get me wrong. I like the medals, though. I like the medals.
Yeah, it's different, but they should have it mean more. I mean, Evilise and Diamante are the ones with the medals. They should.
They haven't done shit with them. They haven't done anything.
I know. I mean, I think they should be defended like the way A-Kid defends the Heritage Cup. That's what they should be doing with those medals. I agree.
Make it a sport, man. Make it a sport. I like it.
Like that match he had with Tyler Bate, for that. That match was amazing. A-Kid is.
Who has the Heritage Cup now?
A-Kid. He's fighting Walter on NXT UK this week, I believe, for the title. Either this week or next week.
Heritage Cup is WWE thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the NXT UK.
When did H have it? Did you say ACH or
no A-Kid?
A-Kid. I was gonna say.
ACH was only Jordan Miles, and he sucked.
I know. That's why I got confused.
Ooh, don't ever mention that name to him.
Oh, I know. I might get my ass kicked. I actually agree with that one, though.
I like him better as ACH.
He's way better.
And MLW in New Japan, he's incredible. Just the work he's been doing.
You know what's awesome? Oh, speaking of crossover and people's contracts going up, you know who else is out of Impact? Ethan Page.
Oh, yeah, but wait, but they're doing that.
Oh, but Callahan resigned, though. I just heard Callahan resigned.
Yeah, he did resign for 2 years.
Sammy Callahan staying with Impact?
Yeah, he said
no
that.
No Solomon Crow, huh? No more Solomon Crow again?
Nope.
He's doing Solomon Crow gimmick, but as Sammy Callahan.
I know.
He's doing it the way he wanted to do it. But yeah. I thought Ethan Page was leaving too, but he's doing this Karate Man gimmick.
Who is Ethan Page?
Yeah, he's like his alter ego is Karate Man, and he's driving his.
No, I heard his.
Crazy.
No, I heard I read a thing today that his Impact deal is done. He's a free agent, unless he's re-signing last minute.
Is he going to NXT?
Ethan Page is done with Impact.
Yeah.
I think he might be doing a couple of more tapings. He might be done.
No, I heard he's officially done. When did it say? I read it before. I'll find it.
Because the Chris brothers are done officially. Madison Rain, her contract is coming up. She's gonna be done.
Yeah, she's done. From what I heard, she's leaving wrestling.
Hey.
Yeah, she's gonna focus on other endeavors.
Yeah, but Sammy Callahan basically said, that he doesn't care about any other company. It impacts his company, so he's staying for another 2 years right now. Although it would be cool, to see Sammy Callahan versus Cody Rhodes or Jon Moxley.
I'd be into that.
Or it might see. I think Eddie Edwards and Moxley would be a hell of a match.
You know, it'd be great. Sammy Callahan versus Brian Cage in AEW. Resume the feud.
They had good matches.
They did. But yeah, Eddie versus Eddie Edwards versus Sammy Callahan.
That feud will never die.
So the rumor is apparently Ethan Page pulled all of his merchandise from his website, so that means that he could be going to WWE. Because oftentimes when wrestlers pull their merch, it's because they sign with WWE. So there's a good chance he might be going to WWE.
Isn't that what 2 out of 3 of the Rascals did?
Yeah, Dez and Wentz. Only Trey hasn't officially joined yet.
Where is Trey?
He hasn't made his decision up yet if he's going to WWE or AEW.
Why did they leave though? Why did they leave Impact?
I have no idea because they were over Impact.
Probably because they probably again got better deals with WWE and AEW, and that's why a lot of guys are going to leave, and it sucks. That's my point I was trying to get at before, is that when guys' deals are up, if AEW and WWE are knocking on their doors, they're entertaining it.
You know who's in WWE now?
Who?
Pineapple.
Oh, yes.
Pineapple Pete? Oh, wow, nice. Good for him.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to him.
You know who else WWE is very high on, and they're working a deal out with? Alex Zane. The guy who was on New Japan Strong. He came out to Downfall of Us All by a Day to Remember.
Okay. I don't
He had like a punk rock gimmick.
Okay.
Yeah, he's apparently WWE's looking to sign him too. I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of guys go to WWE in the next year or two, or AEW, either one. You're going to see a lot of changing going on again. Because unfortunately, as much as I love Ring of Honor and I love MLW and Impact, they've all sadly become the breeding grounds for the bigger companies. It sucks, but it is what it is. You know
who I don't get right now, and I don't think he'd work well in any other company?
Who?
I don't get Danhausen. I don't get Danhausen.
Who?
Danhausen.
The dude that fought Brian Johnson at Final Battle.
Oh, yeah.
He was the thief. Dude's a weirdo, but people love him.
Which guy? Oh, yeah.
But what is he trying to be, the next Sting or something? I mean, he is just, Danhausen. He has the makeup gimmick and he has a weird voice.
They like him, yeah. He was weird, but that guy, I liked him, actually.
Yeah, the fans love him. He's very over.
Yeah, he'll do great in Ring of Honor, and they'll fine-tune him, and then he'll probably go to AEW in a couple of years anyway.
I can see him in AEW, yeah.
I feel like a lot of these Ring of Honor deals are very short-term deals. Most wrestlers, when they work Ring of Honor, they only sign for a year or two in a clip. And then when their deals are up, they go elsewhere.
Speaking of Flip, I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon.
Flip?
Yeah, you said Flip, and I'm saying Flip Gordon.
Oh, no. Flip. Flip Gordon's going to be in Ring of Honor for a little bit. No, Flip Gordon's killing it. He doesn't need to go anywhere else. He's good where he is. Flip Gordon, he could split his time between New Japan Strong and Ring of Honor, and he'll be fine.
Yeah, that freaking match with Gresham was nuts, though, man, at Final Battle.
That match was the match I wanted to see. That was the match I wanted to see. I knew Gresham was going to win, but I wanted to see that match. They're my two favorite guys in Ring of Honor right now, period. Gresham and Flip.
See, my thing is, though, everybody always talks about the best wrestlers in the world. Why does Gresham doesn't get that same respect? That dude's amazing in the ring.
Gresham's a beast, man.
Right now, my favorite guy in Ring of Honor is Brody King.
Brody King's good, too. I like Brody King.
That was an awesome match at, the main event.
It just sucks, how it ended was horrible, but the match itself was amazing.
Oh, you mean when his,
Dad? Yeah.
His the same age as Roosh?
But,
at least look like his father.
I'm telling you, that was their dad.
He looks too young.
Well, I mean, he's got good looks, must run the family, but that was their dad.
That means he has to be in his 50s?
Yeah.
Who's in their 50s?
Their dad.
Roosh's dad.
Roosh and Dragon Lisa. But that's going to be a good feud, though. The Foundation versus LFI.
Oh, yeah.
Because outside the 6-man tag titles, they have every belt in the company between them.
I like that faction. I don't really like Kenny King, but I like that faction.
No, they don't. They don't have every title. They don't have the tag titles.
Yeah, they do. Gresham and Lethal are tag champs.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other.
I said between the two factions, they have every title but the 6-man.
You're right. Yeah.
They do.
Who has a 6-man right now?
Mexa Squad. Flamita, Ray Horace, and Bandito. They were supposed to film against Shane Taylor Promotions,
that's right.
Since Bandito and Flamita came in contact with people who had Rona, that match got scrapped.
I heard they both got tested positive for. I heard that Flamita and Bandito both tested positive for COVID.
One's 3 coming back.
One's what coming back?
I think his ECD. I think his Ring of Honor deal was up at Final Battle, so I don't know what the.
No, I think he's still a contractor.
Really, I heard it was it was up at the Final Battle.
Maybe he read it up. I'll read up. I don't know.
I have to look and see, but I heard it was up. Because it was EC3, Bandito, Flamita, and Kenny King, all who tested positive. So that's why 2 of the matches had to be scrapped, like the Jay Briscoe and EC3 match was scrapped, and the 6-man was. That's why you wind up having Ray Horace against Dalton Castle and Shane Taylor versus Jay Briscoe.
Yeah, no.
That was a good match, the Briscoe-Taylor match.
Yeah, it was.
You could literally say, outside of when he became ROH TV champion, that was the biggest win of Shane Taylor's career.
Yo, Shane Taylor is on point right now, dude.
And having SOS with him too doesn't hurt either.
No, it's a good action. I like Shane Taylor. I think Shane Taylor is starting to get his due diligence finally.
Because Chris Bay was with him before he joined Impact.
Oh, and Lee was with him too. He tagged with Lee in
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, when he was a lot heavier. He lost a lot of weight since then.
Yeah. And then when Shane Taylor Promotions first started, Chris Bay was one of his guys until he went to Impact.
Yeah, it's true.
Chris Bay is definitely another name that's going to...
Yeah, he was in the Super J Cup, and he was fucking killer in that.
Didn't...
That match he had with Rich Swann for the world title, that match was incredible at Final Resolution.
Yeah.
I would like Rich Swann as the champion, though. I don't think he's a good champion.
I agree. I don't like Rich Swann as a champion.
I like him. He's charismatic. He's like the most charismatic champion.
You know, my favorite
thing
I've ever seen Rich Swann do is the little I saw him in MLW when he was a heel. I liked him as a heel.
Wasn't? No.
In MLW, he was a heel.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never seen Rich Swann's heel work. It's always been face work.
I thought
MLW, he was a heel for a while.
I thought you didn't watch MLW.
I watched it. This was a while ago. I haven't seen it recently, but I was watching it for a little bit. I was keeping tabs on it. No, because MJF was still there, and that was when I discovered MJF, and I was getting into it.
You know what's so weird about that whole thing? Like the Dynasty. What's his name? What's the dude's name? The blonde-haired dude who's going to
Hammerstone, Alex Hammerstone.
Yeah, he is one of the he has one of the belts, but he's like a face, and yet he's technically still aligned with the other guy, the rarefied air guy.
Yeah, I forget his name.
That guy's still a heel. Guy's still.
Hey, hold on. I'm stepping out for a second. I'll do that.
No problem. Yeah, I forget the guy's name, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, because.
But what do you think this is going to go? I mean, if they keep doing this with Kenny Omega, and maybe there's just a future for more crossovers, and maybe eventually.
I think you're going to see more and more of it. I think the Omega deal is going to be a few one-offs, if that, but I don't see that being a regular thing with Omega. I think they're going to do that for the short term, and then it's going to just die down and.
You realize that Omega you saw him at the tribute, but Omega, we did not see Omega at all after the 10 bell.
No, you didn't.
But we're going to see plenty of Omega next week. I mean, do you think Omega just didn't want to wrestle because he was, torn up about Lee, or?
Maybe. I don't know. I was actually going to. That's the one thing I didn't touch on with in the other one, but in the other podcast, but I think this applies to this one better. Yeah. I think I think what you saw on the tribute episode was more meant to just be honest matches, rather than furthering stories. Remember when they did Raw's Owen?
They did further story.
Maybe a little bit, but
Eddie Kingston said his thing, but went right back into the promo. Sting and Darby coming out at the end, going back into that.
So I guess they worked it into. I guess they did work it.
Attacking Britt Baker.
Touche. So yeah, they did keep the stories going. Yeah. Remember when they did that Raw Owen back in the day when Owen Hart died? That night was not meant to further stories. That was just if you wanted to work, you worked. If you didn't want to work, you didn't. It was the show was in memory of Owen. I think it was half and half on Dynamite the other night, because I think half of it was they were working angles still, but I think at the same time they were also trying to honor Brody Lee. They wanted to keep his memory strong, so they did a little bit of both. Maybe I'm wrong on this.
But I can't wait to see, what Omega does with Phoenix next Wednesday.
That's going to be a hell of a match.
Yeah, it's gonna be really
Both those
good.
shows are gonna be good. Those are two solid main events. You got Omega versus Phoenix on one, and you got O'Reilly versus Balor.
Oh, I'm stoked for Wednesday.
I'm
No
sorry,
rest, except for Wrestle Kingdom. Except for Wrestle Kingdom, if it happens, nothing is going to top Wednesday's wrestling this week. If Wrestle Kingdom happens, it'll be the thing that rivals it. It won't top it, but it'll rival it.
Sorry, guys, but the real champion is wrestling Damian Priest. That's the NXT champion as far as I'm concerned, because he never lost it.
Oh, yeah, no, he's going to win that belt back.
Hell, you can say that, hey, technically say about Tommaso Ciampa then, if you're going to say that.
Tommaso Ciampa lost the belt.
No, he lost it because he was injured, remember? He lost it due to injury.
Right. But Adam Cole did pin him, so technically he did lose.
Naughty freaking traitor wrestling.
Yes.
Adam Cole. What happened to you, Chuck? Chuck, where'd you go?
No problem.
Oh. And Rod left too. Anyway.
Not right here. Hold on.
No, and I realized the time. I got to start wrapping up soon anyway.
All right, so let's wrap it up.
Yeah, it's about that time.
Yeah, oh wow, it's almost midnight. Oh wow.
Yeah, I got to get up in like 5 hours.
All right, so closing thoughts?
This is gonna be a very exciting first full week of wrestling this week of the new year.
What I will say is I'm excited to see crossover-wise what we're going to see with everything, just because, like I said, there's a lot going on in wrestling right now. I want to see what you see people going where with contracts ending too. I want to see where people wind up where. I'm hoping for a good week of wrestling. New Japan this week's got their good event.
Yeah, hopefully, keep your fingers crossed, knock on wood, do whatever you got to do for that.
I want to watch it, man. I hope it happens.
Yeah.
And then you got the MLW event. Then you got the AEW event, the NXT event. Hopefully, if Wrestle Kingdom if it happens, then the other event, the one you talked about.
Put it this way, outside of SmackDown, there's gonna be a lot of firsts of the New Year's for wrestling this week outside of SmackDown and 205 Live.
And Raw, yeah. All right, well, next show we're going to talk about the wrestlers that we think are underutilized.
Yeah.
I like that one. That's going to be a good one to discuss.
That's going to be, there's plenty, man. Plenty to get off my chest with that.
It's a good one to discuss.
All right, so.
Yeah.
All right, and you go do what you got to do. It's good. We're on YouTube. You go to attention.
Just type in attention wrestling disorder.
All right, or it's just somebody just send me the link for the YouTube website so I can freaking subscribe to the channel and be good.
All right, we will do that. We'll definitely do that.
Rate it, all that fun stuff. We're gonna have a Facebook page eventually.
We're gonna really break this out.
We're gonna make this big. This was a good chat. I'm excited about this first week, a full week of wrestling in 2021. It's going to be epic.
Oh, does that mean does the CFOs get to do our theme songs too? That would be sweet.
They're not doing the themes anymore. Too bad the CFOs don't exist anymore.
I know.
Hey, don't forget, fellas, next weekend is the draft. I'm just not sure what league is getting what day yet, but next weekend is the draft.
Yep.
Cool. We'll keep that tabs on that beforehand.
That's going to be fun. But I got to come up with a really good team. But all right. Thanks for being a part of Attention Wrestling Disorder. We'll see you on the next show. I'll say later.
Peace out, kids.
Later. It's been real.
Later. It's been an honor.
Yep.
Bang.